Alrighty. Obviously, I'm amazing. We're gonna have to play another song. Another 3 minutes and 27 seconds gonna burn. For what? For what now? All because I was too busy watching like sports conspiracy theory videos on YouTube. I was chilling too much. But we're good. Everything's all good. I have to get my life set up though.
But understand you will not save me.
Did I just do something? Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is yours truly, DJ Speed, for another exciting and late episode of Music in Media with yours truly. I already said that, my bad. Today, we will be finishing our GTA 5 analysis and our GTA series as a whole. It is a shame, but I am glad that I can finally move on to other things. This took up a big chunk of my time, and even though it was awesome and something that I've always wanted to do, I am very glad that I can say it's done. Well, not done yet, but after this, it'll be done. If you missed last episode, or just need a little refresher because a lot happens in this game, I will quickly do that now. So there is Michael DeSanta, Trevor Phillips, and Franklin Clinton, and they are a trio of independent criminals who get involved in a huge mess regarding federal agencies, private militias, billionaires, and other criminals. Trevor and Michael have had history in the past, being bank robbers and best friends, before Michael faked his death to get away from the criminal life. After Michael owes some crime boss, he needs to get back into that same life, and then Trevor finds out he's still alive, tracks him down, and now they all together do dirty work for the government. And there you go. I hope that helped a lot. And last episode, we left off with the gang performing a heist on the quote-unquote small banks in the sticks, which was the Polito Bay score, successfully getting funding to do that nerve toxin heist for the FIB. So we finally get a call for Steve saying that everything is a go, that we have the money, we have, the helicopter, we have everything. And they said to meet him in the highway, off the highway to some secluded shore north of Sandy Shores. They arrive at the dock where they are supposed to leave from, and Steve Haynes goes, "Yo, where's your 3 other people? This was a job for 6. And he never told anyone that. Like, he I guess he got confused. He told Dave to tell him, no one told anybody. So this really shows, the incompetence of the federal government agencies that we're working for. So Steve and Dave actually have to be useful and join along for this mission. And Michael, Dave, and Steve get in scuba gear, and they are part of the infiltration team that would actually go inside the lab. They drive a dinghy over the IAA lab waste channel and dive in using a quote-unquote oxyhydro cutter. I don't really know if that's a real thing, but that's what they call it in game. Using that, they cut a grate, and they all swim up into the lab. They all have like stun guns because they want to do they don't want to take out anyone. They sneak through the lab. They get a key card from a random worker. They reach the supposed nerve toxin. They take it, and then I guess from here, that's when the pacifist thing kind of drops because federal agents come, the agency men come, and that's when you kind of have to defend yourself. The cargo bob that we bought for this mission, which is the military, what was I gonna say? It's like the industrial work helicopter. It has a hook on the bottom where you can pick up cars and pick up a bunch of stuff. We bought one for this specific heist with the money that we got from the bank. But this one is a lot tankier. It's a lot bigger, and it has a new paint job, which is really cool. But we won't ever see this helicopter ever again. It's flown by Trevor, and he goes to the lab. We put the nerve toxin as Michael into the refrigeration unit that we have in a cargo container. And then this is where Dave goes, "Hey, there's actually no time that we can do this. If we do this, then people, there's federal agents here right now. They're going to see that what we're doing. They're going to see our face. They're going to identify us." And Michael's like, "I'm already setting it up. What do you want to do?" So at this point, Steve kind of takes matters into his own hands and tries to be an undercover agent trying to stop the attack. He shoots himself in the leg to mimic that he was trying to stop the attackers, but the IAA or agency still seizes him. Meanwhile, we fly the helicopter back to Trevor's airfield, where we put it on a truck for Franklin to take. During this, Devin Weston, that billionaire that we work for that also owns part of Merriweather, needs 5 cars stolen from him to sell to high government officials in China. That's what literally he says. We first steal 2 supercars from some trust fund kids. Michael and Trevor impersonate Blaine County police officers, and Franklin is set to go meet the kids and rile them up for a race. Once Franklin does that and gives them a reason for Michael and Trevor to pull them over, they steal the 2 supercars and race back to where they're being held, which is a little lockup called Hayes Auto in East Los Santos. The next one we steal is from a movie mogul who is going through financial trouble. Devin gets access to a police helicopter, and I guess in this world, the police have new technology that allows people to, like, scan you from afar and, like, identify you, which seems like a huge invasion of privacy and citizens' rights. But I think that's kind of the whole point. Like, Rockstar is mocking, like, governments and all this type of stuff. Doing this as a kid, I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But doing it as an adult, I'm like, whoa, like, this is weird. But anyways, you take the helicopter and you go to, like, some apartment complexes until you see the movie mogul, which is called Chad Mulligan. You identify him. He runs off to his car. You as Franklin, or not you as Franklin. Franklin goes, because you don't play as him, tries to take the car. There's then a high-speed chase. Chad hides in then a parking garage, and then that's kind of where you then go as Franklin and then take the car. The car is the Z-Type, which is the most expensive car in the game, costing like $10 million. And it is modeled over or after like the original like Bugattis from the 1930s, like the very sleek, like Great Gatsby looking cars. We then, as Franklin, take the car to Devin Weston's personal hangar in Los Santos International Airport. Here, Devin tells Franklin that he is sharp and that Michael and Trevor are holding him back, telling him to ditch them before getting on his private jet and doing whatever he has to do. The last car we get for Devin is a James Bond-esque car from the movie studio in town. Us, as Franklin, sneak into the studio, and then the game kind of holds your hand to impersonate the main actor, and then, you know, you get the main actor's clothes, you get on set, no one kind of says anything, and you kind of get in the car and then drive off. Like, I think at the moment you start driving off, that's kind of people are like, whoa, 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 but you kind of just drive off. And then you take the car, and I'm pretty sure you do bring it back to Hayes Auto. And that's when Lamar makes another appearance because he's been snooping around Hayes Auto because he knows that Franklin's been chilling there. He goes, and Devin Weston is also there, and Lamar kind of sells himself. He's like, yo, like, bro, like, I can be in on this job, like, hire me, bro, like, I'm good for the money. And then that's kind of when Devin Weston hires him for the last job. So he puts Lamar in charge of taking the final car that we will not be getting, which is the Monroe, which is a sports classic car, what's what they actually call it in-game. And it's modeled after, like, the original or old Lamborghinis, which is really cool. Blah, 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 blah. And then also through this, Devin gets Michael in touch with a famous movie producer called Solomon Richards. And he kind of becomes Solomon's muscle for, you know, this time in the game. Devin doesn't do this just because he wants to be nice. He does this to distract Michael and to kind of appease him for, like, not getting back at him for everything that he's messing. Because Devin is doing a lot of, like, shady stuff, and he doesn't want to get, you know, obviously hurt or anything like that happening to him. So he does this to kind of appease him, and he's like, hey, distract yourself with this, leave me alone. And it kind of works for a little bit. But I will pause there, and I will play a song for you before I run out of time. Is this, oh, it is on now. Yay! This is off my favorite station in the game, which is Radio Mirror Park. This is Shooting Holes by Twin Shadow. I will see you soon. Okay. Holy moly. Okay. No more text coming through.
She doesn't care. Leave a trail, the hounds will find us anywhere. Call the cops and tell them what we've done. Tell them that tonight we stole your father's guns with your right hand. You said, I think we're gonna be so close. Let's sing a song on our way back home. You and me, shooting holes in the moon. You and me, on our way back home. You and me, shooting holes in the moon. Take my hand, there's no one here to see. Push your palms against the earth with me. With your right hand, you said, I think it's gonna be so close. Let's sing a song on the way back home. You and me, shooting holes in the moon. You and me, on the way back home. You and me, shooting holes in the moon.
Why?
On the way back home. You and me, shooting holes in the moon. You and me, on the way back home. You
Oh boy.
and me, shooting holes in the moon.
Alrighty. That was Shooting Holes by Twin Shadows. Or Twin Shadow, I'm sorry. That is off, again, Radio Mirror Park. Great song. Definitely one that I remember when I was younger playing this game. But with that, let's continue with the show. Lester. Nope, that is not where I'm at, my lord. Okay. Yes, here we are. We are now entering the final act of the game, and I probably said that like 5 times already, but like this is like the true final act of the game. The problems between Michael and Trevor reach its boiling point in my favorite mission in the entire game, Bury the Hatchet. Trevor pulls up to Michael's house where they begin yelling at each other. Trevor finally reveals that he has been wondering, if Michael was here, then who is buried in his grave? Michael awkwardly tries to get Trevor off the subject, but Trevor is now convinced something is wrong. He storms off, claiming he's going to North Yankton himself to see what's in his grave. Michael follows, and we are then transported back into the prologue area. It is a drastic shift to go back to the snowy darkness compared to the sunny city that we have been so accustomed to for the past couple hours, if you've been playing the game nonstop. Michael arrives to his grave and sees Trevor digging it up. Before I talk about this, I just want to talk about there are 2 ways to like get to this mission, which is really cool. If you go as Michael, you start the mission as Michael, you then have to drive to the airport to get a train, that's crazy. Go to the airport to get a flight to North Yankton. But if you start the mission as Trevor, meaning you go to Michael's house to start the mission, you have to drive all the way up to your personal hangar and then get in a plane, and then you literally just drive off into the ocean, like not in the ocean, but like in the direction of the ocean where there's just nothing, and then at a certain point it will just cut off and go into a cutscene where you're in North Yankton. Well, then you will be transported back to Michael regardless of who you start as. Here, Michael drives to the grave and he gets a bunch of flashback dialogue about him and Amanda talking about getting out of this life, coming to sunny Los Santos and getting out of everything where it's cold and wet and just sad over here. Blah, 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 blah. Michael arrives to his grave and sees Trevor digging it up. Trevor opens it and sees what he is expected, or sees what he expected to see, which is their third heist member from that failed bank heist in the prologue, Brad. This entire time, Trevor has been getting mail from Brad claiming that he's been in jail this whole time. Turns out, this is all part of the FIB plan, and the person writing him is actually Dave Norton. It is a massive reveal, and the two draw weapons on each other. They are then interrupted by friends of Wei Chang, the crime boss Trevor tried working for when we initially got control of him. And this is where Trevor runs away, and they take Michael captive, bringing him back to Los Santos. We then lose control of Michael for some time, and the only way to get control of him back is to continue and progress with the story. And the next mission after this would be for Devin Weston, and it's finally time to deliver those 5 cards that we got for him in the mission Pac-Man. Since Lamar is part of the team now, Devin hired him solely to grab the last car needed. A sports classic called Monroe, styled after first Lambos. Okay, I pre-shot that, okay. Taking the Monroe is suspiciously easy for Lamar, which Franklin is worried about, thinking it could have been a trap set by the police, but despite the reluctancy, they take the car to Hayes Auto. We get to Hayes Auto, where all the cars are set on a car carrier truck. The drive is long from East Los Santos near to where they hit that bank in Paleto Bay. The team for this is Trevor, Franklin, and Lamar. We drive as Trevor, and then while on the Western Highway, the police finally make their presence known, tailing the car that Lamar stole and waiting until they got out of Los Santos jurisdiction to finally pull them over, or try to pull them over. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if like in game they're considered 2 different states, so there's like different laws. But like Blaine County is very like more reckless and like looser than Los Santos, so I guess it kind of makes sense. This is kind of where Franklin decides to take matters into his own hands and gets out of the truck while it's moving and goes through all of the car carriers and all the cars to get to the James Bond car that he stole, named the JB700 in game. Devin had the car customized, so the weapons on the car are real instead of prop, helping Franklin get the police off the crew. They successfully reach their destination, where they are met by Devin's assistant, Molly. Franklin asks, so when are they going to get paid? And this is kind of where Devin's assistant, Molly, goes on a big, like, oh, Devin Weston is a visionary, he's a billionaire, he's a maverick, blah, 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 blah. And that he's going to invest their payment into some funds that he has, and will make the funds available at a time that's appropriate to them, which I think is not exactly what she said, but kind of exactly what she said. And even Franklin's like, so is this a polite way of saying that I'm getting robbed? And then she kind of drives off. She doesn't just drive off, but she goes like, that's an immature way of thinking about it, and then drives off. So this is now, you know, Franklin and Trevor and Lamar are obviously mad now, and they want to, you know, get some revenge on Devin. When replaying this game for the first time, I replayed this game for this episode. I beat it, I think, like a couple days ago, maybe like Sunday of last week, because I was supposed to have my show last week, but the door wasn't working, so I didn't know if I got like banned from the station or like the door just wasn't working, and I didn't want to just like shove the door in, so I just went home. Turns out the door, it was broken, so it's okay. But I was playing the game. I finished it after, and I think I was driving after the mission. Oh no! Oh my god, what am I talking about? While driving to get the Monroe, you get one of these Weasel News breaking news reports that happen after you do like a crazy mission or something, and it like gives you the news's perspective of what you do. And the news goes on about how some people raided a IAA lab, which was us, and they stole perfume oil from the lab. So we robbed the bank, did all this stuff, bought a helicopter, and took out various federal agents for perfume oil. I think like I knew it wasn't like something, but I didn't know like this was. I guess this is the first time I heard or like actually remember hearing this news broadcast, and I was like, whoa, that's insane. I can't believe we did that. But yeah, blah 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 blah. It was a big revelation, and da 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 da. Even Michael in this thing was like, I think in some dialogue, he's like, we just like could have just stole like shaving cream for all we know, and it essentially is shaving cream. Well, not really, but perfume oil, shaving cream, kind of the same thing on like the scale of harm. Soon after, Franklin notices Michael's disappearance and asks Trevor for help, which of course he doesn't provide any because why would he want to help Michael at all? He then calls Lester for help, and Lester tracks his credit card usage and tracks him back in Los Santos. I suppose through his cell signal, Lester is able to loosely track Michael's location and share it with Franklin. Us as Franklin track it down to a meat slaughterhouse, I want to say never east of Los Santos, like very east of Los Santos, and saves Michael from Wei Chang's people, who hilariously think that Michael is Trevor's boyfriend. After getting back on his feet, Michael reunites with his family. He picks them up and takes them for an emergency walk-in therapy session. They let out all their anger and frustrations, and the kids and Amanda agreed to move back into the house, which is great. At the same time, Michael continues working for Solomon Richards, and after gaining a lot of respect from Michael, Solomon makes him an associate producer at the end of the credits for one of their new upcoming movies. However, Devin, I'm pretty sure, is in control of the movie studio property and plans to sell it for some insurance claim, something. I don't know. Like I genuinely don't get it. Like some business stuff. And apparently the only way for that to happen and for him to get paid through this insurance scheme is for no movies to be coming out of the studio. And this is kind of where Devin and Molly take the original like film of the movie, like the reel, and they kind of just take it. And this is right after Solomon reveals that Michael is an associate producer. So Michael, already like in love with the movie, like now has a even more a special like appreciation and connection to it. So he kind of chases Molly to get the movie back all throughout town, causing havoc all throughout town, and then it finally ends at the airport where Molly drives on like the runways and stuff like that, like causing a lot of stuff to happen. And then she gets out of the car and runs into like a hangar, and let's just say a jet engine like swallowed her up, but left the reel outside, and the reel is safe. So after we get the reel back, we call Solomon, and Solomon's like, yo bro, like you really didn't have to do all that. Like we live in like post 2000 era time, like we have it all digital. And he's like, well, like why didn't you stop me? And then they kind of just drop it because it's not really that important. Well, in the game, like in the aspect of the game, blah blah blah. I just like did that all of the dome, which is awesome. But now I have no idea where I am in my script, which is sick. I am here now. Yes. Then Devin calls Michael and is like, why did you do all that? And Michael's like, yo, bro, like, my bad. Like, I'm just trying to protect my movie. And Devin's like, oh, you'll regret this, all, like, villain type of dialogue type of stuff. And then we kind of just forget about it. And then it is time for... Nope, it is not time for that now. Wait. Oh my god, I just completely just dropped this. Yes, okay, it is time for this now. It is time for that same movie to premiere. It is called The Meltdown, which is the exact same mission that's called when it premieres. It is... Blah, 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 blah. Where is it? The movie is still a go and plans for a premiere at the famous Oriental Theater, which is the game's version of the TCL Chinese Theater in Los Angeles. Michael and Jimmy get some nice suits and take a limo to the premiere. On the way there, Devin calls Michael, furious and blaming him for everything that happened with Molly. Michael proclaims that it was all an accident, but he doesn't really care. I already mentioned that. I pre-fired that. My bad. Blah, 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 blah. Wait, did I just completely skip what happens in this thing? Wait, what? There's no way, right? Oh my god. Did I not write this in? Okay. Wait, no, I did write it in. But, it is not time for the premiere. They call Solomon for a premiere. There we go. Yeah. Alrighty. Cool. Blah, 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 blah. But first, the crew has to do the big score that they've been hyping up all game, which is robbing the Union Depository, which is kind of like the central super bank for the country. That's kind of how they put it. I don't get it. I think it's like the gold reserves, something to do with gold, because you end up robbing a lot of gold, which is awesome. But now, with turmoil between Trevor and Michael, it's unsure if this big thing is going to even happen. We are about to go into a huge mission, so I will pause right there and I will play a song from Nonstop Pop, and a song that I didn't really listen to at all when I was younger playing the game. But now, for doing research for the game or for this episode, or these episodes, I came across it and I love it. So this is Promises, Promises by Naked Eyes. I hope you enjoy. I will see you soon. Oh, I love it when it just doesn't play. Like, why? Oh, haha. Here we go. It's take two. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Never had a doubt in the beginning, never a doubt. Trusted you true in the beginning, I loved you right through. All in all, we laughed like kids at all the silly things we did. You made me promises, promises. Second time around, I'm still believing what you said. You said you'd always be here, and then forever still repeats in my head. You can feel this what you spoke, and this is love. It breaks my heart. You made me promises, promises.
Why does my script keep taking me to this one specific spot? I don't care, bro. Okay.
Breaks my heart. You made me promises, promises. You never keep promises, promises. Why do I believe all
my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's ending, it is ending, it is ending, it is ending, it is ending. Oh my god, that almost caught me there. It almost ended before I stopped it, but we are good now. Hi, if you are joining us, that was Promises by Naked Eyes. And I think we are all good to go. Okay, let's continue with the show. Lester tells Michael to meet him as Steve and Dave need to speak to them apparently. So remember that agency heist that we did when we stole perfume oil? The one where like Steve tried to be like a undercover agent or say he was an undercover agent and escape. Well, the agency doesn't think that at all. The agency actually thinks that Steve is a corrupt liar, cheater, and a thief, which is exact dialogue from the game. And even people in his branch are starting to question the way that Steve operates. This sends Steve into a spiral, telling Michael to get a crew together to sneak into the IAA building. To sneak into the FIB building to erase. Wait, is it the FIB or IAA? FIB. To sneak into the FIB building to erase any information that they have on Steve. This is like obviously Michael is like, no, like I don't want to do this, bro. Like please, like leave me alone. But Steve's like, well, like if you do that, like you can also like just erase any evidence they have on you. And he's like, you're kind of right. So then he kind of does it. And this is the start of the fourth major heist of the game, which is called the Bureau Raid, which I think maybe aside from even including the final one, this might be my favorite one of the entire game. Just in case you're confused, the agency is another name for the IAA, and the Bureau is another name for the FIB. It only took me writing the script and replaying the game like 20 times for me to figure that out. But we are given two options for this heist, like most of the heists we do. One is the roof entry, where we parachute onto the top of the building, break in, set the alarms off, go in or download the files, erase the files, and then kind of escape, propelling down the burning building and like fending off federal agents in the meanwhile. And then the fire crew option, which is the more subtle option here, where the crew pretends to be firemen and Michael pretends to be a janitor, and they start a fire from the inside. They go in without detection from federal agents and erase the evidence with minimal resistance. I want to make it clear that it was only Michael, Franklin, and other members of your choice for this heist. Trevor and Michael have still not made up since the North Yankton incident. And after the successful heist, Michael goes to visit Steve and Dave to formally end their partnership. It is also here revealed that through all of Trevor's actions with Merriweather, it has put now a target, or put all our three protagonists on their bad list, which is not good. Michael makes his way to Court Center, which is the game's depiction of the Getty Center in Brentwood. He sees Dave alone and begins talking to him. Michael reassures that after the Bureau raid, Michael should now be cut loose and can get away from any government dealings. However, Dave tells him that it cannot go down this way just yet. And at this moment, Steve and his right-hand man, Agent Sanchez, arrive, interrupting Dave's plan. He instructs Agent Sanchez to arrest Michael and Dave. All four men pull weapons on each other, and Michael is confused on why he's getting arrested. And then he figures out that Steve is going to be on trial soon, and that he and Dave can testify against him. And he obviously doesn't want witnesses against him. Soon after, IAA agents arrive, and then after, FIB agents who are under the control of Agent Sanchez, betraying Steve and protecting himself. And then when things can get any worse, Merriweather shows up too, and then someone fires the first shot, and then everyone scatters, turning into a massive fight in the court center. IAA men, FIB men, Merriweather men, kind of all against each other, and then also against Michael and Dave. It looks near impossible for Michael to escape alive, but then an old friend shows up to save the day. Trevor is there and helps Michael escape. The two meet after, where Trevor reveals he only came back to do that last big heist that they were talking about. Shortly after, an unfamiliar face comes to visit Franklin. It is Tanisha, which is a character that they have been mentioning kind of all game as Franklin's, like, I guess, love that got away type of thing. Like, I guess they grew up together, her, Franklin, and Lamar, and Franklin was in love with her, wanted to be her boyfriend, but Tanisha was like, this whole, like, criminal life, it's not really about me. And she went more, a professional route, and is now getting married to a doctor, or a brain surgeon, as she says. But she comes to visit Franklin because she hears that Lamar is being set up by Stretch, and which Stretch is the guy that we met in the previous, like, one of the first missions of the game. He just got out of jail, but now I guess he has affiliations with the Ballas instead of the Grove, which I'm pretty sure Lamar and Franklin have ties to. And Tanisha kind of begs him to go and save him, and Franklin's like, I really don't want to. Like, I've been saving this guy my entire life. Like, I'm done. He has to look after himself. I'm not gonna just bail him out of any problem he has. And even though he's right, Tanisha goes and it's like, I can't really, like, let you not do this. Like, you really have to do this. Like, we're all friends. Like, I'm sorry that, like, I'm not in your life the way you want me to be, but, like, I need you to do this one last time. And then Franklin's like, okay, fine. And, like, even though I get where Franklin is coming from, like, he has been saving Lamar, like, the entire game, and I don't even, probably way more, like, even before the game even started. But, like, that's your friend. Like, if your friend is in, like, immediate danger, like, I feel like you should go and save your friend. But who knows? Maybe it's a little bit of, like, Michael's selfishness rubbing off on him. But he ends up going. He calls Michael and Franklin, who still aren't on the best of terms. But they go together, and they rescue Lamar, which is great. And I'm pretty sure now, hopefully now, where is it? Yes, it is now time for the premiere of Michael's movie. In the Mission Meltdown, which is also the name of Michael's movie, we see Michael and Jimmy get ready for the big premiere. You see him at the higher-end clothing store, Ponsonby's, and after buying a tuxedo, you guys ride in a limo to the TLC theater, popping champagne and enjoying the lights of Los Santos. On the red carpet, Devin makes a sly appearance and hints that Amanda and Tracy are in danger back at home. Michael rushes back home to save his family, and where he sees Merryweather soldiers are there converging on the house to harm Amanda and Tracy. You as Michael save the day and vow to take down Devin Weston. But before you do that, or before I even get into the final act, the final ending, like true ending, final two missions of the game, I would like to play another song before I run out of time. This song is from the Blonded Los Santos 97.8 FM radio station, which was one of the added radio stations, one of the first added radio stations at the time. I know it's not an original station, but I would be lying if I said that my car or the one I'm driving or any vehicle I'm driving in the game isn't already on Blonded 90% of the time. So I'm familiar with all the songs. And there are even some Frank Ocean songs that are on it. And this is one of them. For some reason, there is a circle on the thing, which it really scares me. I downloaded this song. Is this going to play? There's no way, right? Oh, it's going to play. Okay, sick. Cool. This is Pretty Sweet from Frank Ocean, obviously, off of his Blonde album. I hope everyone enjoys.
To the edge I race, to the end I make it. All the risk I take it. And bang my four friends, we pour a taste out for the dead. This is the blood, the body, the life right now. The hype right now might be what I need. So you wanna hurt me now. You can't hurt me now. That might be what you need. Don't let me down.
Okay. If you are just joining us now, that was Pretty Sweet by Frank Ocean off of the Blonded album, or Blonde album off the Blonded Los Santos 97.8 radio station from the game. One of my favorite songs from him, obviously. Introduced to me from this game, which is great. But it is now time to talk about the final heist and, I guess, penultimate mission of the game, which is called The Big One. This is obviously the heist on the very hyped up Union Depository job that we've been talking about all game. And just like most heists in the game, you are given two options. Subtle, where the group sees the group stealing a security truck that makes trips in and out of the Union Depository. They go in without much attention until Merriweather comes looking for Michael. After a high-speed chase through Los Santos, the crew hide the cars in big 18-wheeler trucks and evade capture. Or the obvious, which is Trevor and Franklin go under and steal the gold with a drill, while Michael and another person that you hire is the distraction in the main lobby, and then they helicopter the gold out of there and evade police. This is, I want to say, the most or second most concentration of enemies that you will see in any mission. So there's lots of action, lots of suspense, and lots of money, as you are stealing nearly 4 tons of gold in both approaches. Nope, doesn't happen. And with all that, it seems like the boys just carried out one of the biggest heists, I want to say, ever, or at least in American history, because the gang have come out with around $300 million worth of gold at the end of the day. However, the game is not done, and there are still many loose ends that need to be tied up. You, as Franklin, go to your house, and you are visited by Devin. He seems to be marathon training and tells him about a job that he needs to be done. I think it was Devin's plan from the start, but maybe it was the meltdown situation that made him want to do this officially. But he wants Franklin to silence Michael. This is where things get tricky, because Franklin has some loyalty to Michael for all that he showed him, but understands that sometimes he cannot be trusted with all of the Ludendorff stuff affecting Franklin. And another thing that makes this awkward is the fact that throughout the entire time that we've been working for them, the feds, which are Dave and Steve, want Franklin to take out Trevor, thinking that he's too much of a liability and a loose cannon. Devin leaves, telling us that the choice is ours. He also gives us option C, which is, I think in his words, is be really stupid, and blah, 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 blah. So now, on our phone, we are given 3 options, which is A, silence Trevor, B, silence Michael, or the ominous C, which is Death Wish. I'll speak briefly about the first 2 endings as they're not canon, and like I don't know why you would even do them to begin with. In option A, we tell Michael to meet us in a secluded location as Franklin. Michael arrives, and he goes on about how like Tracy's gonna go to college, and like Jimmy is looking for a job, and Amanda like is in love with him now again, and everything is just so good in Michael's life. And this is kind of where we reveal that we're here to end that, and then we chase him through like I want to say like a oil like refinery place, something with like huge heights. He climb a ladder, and Michael falls, and that is the end of Michael, and then the end of the game. In option B, it's kind of something similar. Instead, Michael comes and actually helps Franklin take out Trevor. They force Trevor to crash into a gas tank, and then they shoot the gas, and then yeah, that's kind of the end of Trevor. And then finally, in option C, blah 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 blah. Lester goes to Franklin goes to Lester first to see if he can do anything to help him, and he's kind of like, nah, I really can't help you. Like you might as well just do both options. And Franklin's like, yo, bro, like what do you mean do both? Like you are like the tech guy, like you should know what to do. So then essentially, Lester makes like an ambush tactic where he tells everyone that they're melting the gold down at some thing in Los Santos, and then everyone kind of rushes to there, like the Merryweather, agency men, bureau men, and then after we take them all out, we were like, hey, like who are our enemies that we need to like not tie up, but like any loose ends that we have to tie up. We then have our list of enemies, which are Wei Chang, which Franklin deals with, Steve Haynes, which Trevor deals with, and Stretch, which Michael deals with. And then afterwards, you as Trevor, I want to say, go to Devin's house, get Devin, he's in a car, and then you drive to a shore off the Western Highway. The two other men come, and you have a final chat with Devin before you give him a little push into the ocean, and that is the end or the last that we will ever see of Devin. And then that's kind of where we get our ending credits. And then afterwards in the game, we are given our money. It's usually around the way when I played it, I used like the best people like when I hired them, so like they took up so much of the cut. I ended up getting like only like 16 million out of the entire thing, which I know in some other games I've gotten like 30 million. So I don't know like what I did in those older playthroughs, but yeah. But with that is the end of GTA 5. Some news about the show and the scheduling. Next week we will not be having a show because there will be, I want to say, Vinylthon or some big radio thing here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I will not have my show next week. That will be April the 12th. So April 12th, there will not be a show, which is sad, but it will give me more time to figure out what I want to do for my next episode, which I think I already have an inkling, but it's hard for me to like replay this game, and there's not much like media about it. So I have to do some deep digging, but with that, I would like to play a final song for us. Each ending of the game has their own credit song or ending song. This song that I'm going to play for you now is the credit song for Michael's, silencing Michael's ending, but I think it is the best quote-unquote ending song out of all of the three. The one for Death Wish is kind of lame, so this is way better, and now we'll use it to close it. I hope everyone has a great day. I'll probably be coming back in like 30 seconds to say the top of the hour. But I hope everyone enjoys. This is Don't Come Close by Yes Sayer, which I think I'm saying that wrong, but I'm sorry. This is also a song that was licensed, specifically for the game. So enough yapping. I will play it for you now, and I will see you all in 2 weeks, which I think is that my birthday? No, it is not. My birthday is not on Saturday. Sorry. Alrighty. Bye-bye. You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I dropped my phone, sorry.
Don't come close. I don't want you to see my face. You go away, I work so hard. I don't have time to start all over. I like to be, leave you when you're falling back. I leave you when the night is there. Most people would release you. Most people not change, they'll make it up.
Actually went really good.
You got
Cool. And the person in front of me is gonna run late, so I can happily play this next song. Oh my god, I also have to play some stuff from station stuff. Shoot.
taking away their nothing flies, bringing disease to the surface. But you must be sharper than your average man. Tell me, honey, what's the
Plan most people would release your mind. Why is it not adding? There we go. Oh, it's Mia's show.
Don't come close. She said I'd never stoop so low.
Whether you're the enchanted fairy tale type, or you're more into jamming out to your favorite tunes, looking for a little adventure, or taking it one day at a time, enjoying the journey. Whatever you're feeling, Radio Rebel on 90.3 WMSC Upper
Cool.
Montclair's got you covered. Every Sunday at 2 p.m., we'll focus on a classic movie we love from our childhood and our nostalgia for it. See you soon!
Montclair State University's Special Olympics team is looking for new participants. Dive into the thrill of soccer and basketball and experience the magic of inclusion through sports.
Cool.
Our team's blend of the energy from Montclair
Let's
State
go.
University students with the incredible talent of Special Olympic athletes is amazing. Participants at any skill level are
Awesome.
welcome to join. The best part about Unified, you'll be playing in an environment where social inclusion and acceptance flourish. Just this past soccer season, we won the silver medal in Division 2 for soccer. If you are interested in learning more, our Instagram is
Alrighty.
MSU_unified, and our meetings are Saturdays 12:30 to 2:30, starting February 20.